First, let me introduce me. I'm Mathieu, also called ZoonTech on Twitter, GitHub, this kind of stuff. I'm a lead front-end developer at Swan.io. I'm a podcast hoster at Putain de Code. You can translate it like fucking code, French thing, you know. And I'm a maintainer of this library, Permission, Bucklize, Splash, others. So, disclaimer first. This is not like what TypeScript looks like. We are using TypeScript in an illegal manner. So don't think you have to do that in your code base if you want to implement TypeScript. It's not that complex, actually. But it's great to see how we use like common pattern to achieve what we want. So for the context, at Swan, we have like 6 front-end applications. It's mostly single-page application. So we don't have like server-side rendering, this kind of stuff. It's boring app. And what is routing actually in single-page application? It's 4 points. The server sends an HTML file. The client download the JavaScript, the bundle JavaScript, and read the browser URL. Using that URL, it chooses to display one content in particular. And when you do a navigation, just you click on a link, it intercepts the event, it blocks it, and it does something else. So it will show something else. So our journey using router. At first, we start with a router called hook router. But it wasn't done. Then we switch to Raviger. It's a fork. But it has so much breaking changes, even in minor version. So what should we do? Should we use React Router? Because, oh, the API seems simple, actually. We have like this path, and we render a profile. It's okay, get it. But there's an issue. There's no link between the two. So if I'm on this route, I will display profile, but in profile, I have to use like this use param hook, which tell me, yeah, you are on this page, so you should have user ID. But in TypeScript, it's not sure actually. User ID will be string or undefined, you know? So just imagine you create a link using user ID, and you do an update. You have a 404 with undefined in the URL. So how can we make this type safe? You will have like a quick overview of 4 really important TypeScript features. But first, let's talk about union type. What's a union type? A union type is the ability to express that your variable could be string or number or boolean. For example, it's just or. So let's use this type as a function parameter. Here, if I check that input is a string, I can use string method in this branch. Then if I check that input is a number, I can use number method. And at the end, I know that it's not a string or a number anymore, so it has to be a boolean. TypeScript knows that. You can do that with complex object, actually. So if I want to create like a type animal, it could be a cat with a property is vicious. And it could be a dog with a property is a good boy. Yeah, I'm a dog person, obviously. And as it has the same prop, you can test it. If you pass like an animal, just check for the property tag. If it's cat, it means that you have this method. Else, it will be a dog, and you will have this method. Property, excuse me. And it could be great to have the same thing for routing, actually, no? Guess what? This is dog. So our dream API was this, actually, because it's like every routing API. So we just want to write route, maybe have some query params, and we want this type in return. How did we get there? This is my colleague who made that. Sorry. Quick disclaimer. First, for the rest of the talk, we will use type as function. We will do like we call meta-programming. First feature, template literal types. Actually, it's really easy. It's like the same in JavaScript, you know? At type level, you can do like a string interpolation. Here, I have a type, get full name. It takes T, which is a user, and it just returns like a type, which is the concat of first name space last name. So, quick example. I use get full name with first name David, last name Barrett, and the type David Barrett will be exactly this. If you want to use this type, it will have this value. You can't do anything else with it, actually. Second feature, conditional. Same thing in JavaScript, actually. You can do condition using like ternary. So I create gay status, it takes a task, which is a string. If tags look like shit, done. Else to come. So if I use get status shit, it will return a type done. If I use get status filling my type return, it will return to come. Next feature, the infer keyword. The infer keyword is like inferring what a type is in a certain condition. Here, we have like input string. Does it look like something that starts with an hash? If yes, I want to extract the rest of the value in a type called text and return it. Else, I will return input. So I use remove hashtag ExpensiConX. It will return the value without the hash. Else, it will just return the input. And last one, same as in JavaScript, recursive type call. So, no really need to explain, it's a bit complex looking like this, but it's really the same. You have a param, it's a person, you return like an array, you put like the name, and spread the rest. If it looks like a person, you call the method recursively. Else, you just return an empty array. So using this, you will have this. Now, let's go. So what we want it to be, actually, you have like 4 possibilities. You have just a path plus search param, a path plus search param plus an hash, or a path and a hash. No need to explain, I think, it's pretty clear. Now we will explain. Actually, it's really easy. Like, if it looks like something with an interrogation mark and a hash, we will extract the value of path, search, and hash, and put that in a record. If it's just a path and a search, same thing, and hash will just be an empty string. Same. And the final case, it's just a path, so we put it there. So using this type and passing this data, we'll have this record extracted directly in the type system. No. Let's go further. Using like the 4 feature I expressed to you a bit earlier, you are able to re-implement actually the string split function, like in JavaScript actually. So you just like does it looks like something that has a start, has a separator in the middle, and at the tail? If yes, put the head at start and spread actually the recursion. So you just do that, and using this, you will have this. Same goes for search param, using like the perluettes. And know that we want actually to extract like the params from the path, the search, and the hash. So first thing is like you pass the path, you split actually the path using slash, and we look if it looks like something that starts with 2 dots, you see, actually. Oh, so yeah, I made slide for that, so we split it. We check if there's something at the end, and if it looks like something we start with 2 dots, we extract the name and we say it's a string. And we do like an intersection to say, hey, no, finish using the rest of the array. If it doesn't, like we skip because it's not a param. And at the end, we return an empty object. So using this method, you will have this. Same for search, actually. Approximately, we just add like a new condition to check if it ends with like 2 brackets, because search param could be array. And hash is pretty simple, it's a unique value, so we just check if it starts with 2 dots. So you get the idea. To extract like the whole root, you just have a root, you extract it in a root object, so path, search, hash. And after that, you just use the tree method, extract path, extract search, extract hash. Yeah. So using all of this, it will return a record like this. And that's how you get a fully type-safe router. So yeah, like I just said, don't do that in your code base. It's okay because it's in a library. So I will show you a demo. It will be, I think, easier to understand what it can bring you. The API is quite simple. So you have like this router file, you create your route in it, and it's just return like a router object. And if you want to use it, you will just say, I declare route, and I want to match this route. So here it's type safe. So maybe here I will match home, user, and user. I will match all route. And just by checking like the return type, we'll have home, no param, user, no param, and the user page with a user ID. So you can do as you want actually. So I want to check here and, oh, sorry, still forgot. Let me say I'm in the router, I'm on the user page. So if I'm on the user page, I know that I will have this param. And this param is a string actually, because we are on the user page. So you know, it's there. But using if can be like maybe 2 variables. So for that, we are using something called pattern matching. And we want to check all the cases. So just passing routes. And it say to me that, oh, this is not exhaustive. You are not handling all the cases. So, okay, I will check if name is home. If it is, I will return null for the moment. And we have like the case where it can be user, it can be user with an S. Yeah, it's here. And it can be undefined because page not found, you know. And just by doing that, and removing this, yeah, no error. Cool. So let's just add some content. Home. User. And page not found. So here we are, okay. Dot user, and it takes no arguments. So I will go back to home. You have user. On the user page, recreate a few user. Here, let's say Rory, and we will go to the page user, but it asks for a user ID, so let's provide a user ID. And now we have like a safe link. And if at some point, let's say our designer go nuts and want to change like the whole layout, yeah, it's no big deal actually, because you just have to update one file, and everywhere it will scream at you saying like, hey, it doesn't expect a user ID now, it expects a username. Okay. And it's the same, actually. You just have to do the modification everywhere in your code base, and no dead link. Yeah, there's a Palmer feature. So we have wildcard routes, you know, like with a store. We have safe link creation, like I show you. We have path ranking, because it doesn't matter in which order are the routes. Actually, it will match the best route for like the URL. You have root groups if you want to reduce actually like the verbosity of your root file. You have keyboard focus reset. It's really important actually, because some people use screen reader, so it's great to reset the focus when changing page to like the start of a body, so they are not lost. And navigation blocking, just to say, yeah, are you sure you want to leave that page because you create like full form. And server-side rendering, but meh. So it's here, it's on GitHub, it's on NPM. And if you have like any question, let's go. No, actually, not at all. It's just pure value. There's no component. You do whatever you want. Because using pattern matching, you just, like I say, you have like multiple cases. And yeah, it's just types, you know. It's really easy. There's nothing to learn, basically. Not really, because it's really different. In React Native, you don't have really links, I guess. I saw that Export Router is doing something like with deep links. So maybe, but it's file-based. So this is not tailored for file-based routing. File-based routing is not really type-safe, or it could be, but yeah, you have to do tricks like what they do actually in Next with a bundler plugin that builds the type each time you create or delete a file. Big question, actually. Yeah, of course, it compiles actually to JavaScript, but you can express a lot more using type. Like I say, just say I want to create a function. I want to create a function. If I use pure JavaScript, it will have like a param. A param is, I don't know, value or name. What does it even mean? I mean, you have to document it. You have to add a JS doc or something to say, hey, here we want to actually pass an object with this property. Using Typescript, it's just type, you annotate your function, and you can't mess around because, yeah, it's just will scream at you if you pass something else. Just say you call the method and you pass a number. Yeah, it will not be happy about it. No, actually it's different language. Like maybe you know, did you practice, I don't know, Java, for example? Yeah, C++, for example, you have type in C++. Yeah, when you assign like a value, when you assign a value to a variable, like if you express the variable to be like, I don't know, a string, it cannot be something else. In JavaScript, it could be, because in JavaScript, actually, you can assign whatever you want to whatever you want. Yeah, of course. I'm thinking like there's a lot of benefits. It's self-explanatory, because when you have like this method and you just say it has to have this type of value in input, it will return that. You don't have like to read the whole method. What does this function do? Yeah, it's explained. When you are using like a library, you just, I don't even care actually to read the documentation. If a type are there, I know what to do. Documentation is like extra step, you know, when you want to go deeper in the library. But at start, you just install the library and use it because it's type. And actually, in my company, we are providing like a fully GraphQL API. So when you are consuming like our API, we just actually went to a page, say, I want this, and this, because it's a GraphQL, so you do one request, and it generates a hook, fully typed, and you just have your fully typed data. So yeah, reading API is like really fast. And you have also like union for results. Actually, when you do like a mutation, you want to update something in the database, you call a GraphQL mutation, and the return will be like a success with some data or a rejection of type. I don't know, forbidden IMA rejection, for example, with some another data or something else. And using like TS pattern, the library I showed you earlier, like pattern matching, you will have to handle all the cases. So if at some point, like one colleague just add a new rejection, when you call this method, yeah, it can reject because of a new reason. And we'll just like compile the thing, and it will scream at us like, no, it can be refused for X new reason, and you just handle it. So yeah, there's so much bring to the table. You will have autocomplete actually, it's pretty great. You can just add Typescript config and just set check.js to true. It will catch a few errors. It's better than nothing. But yeah, having fully typed code base is better, obviously. Not at all. Never. Why not? Because I think I will be really frustrated, actually, to use JavaScript again, because I don't know, I could be faster, I could be more efficient, so why doing it? Yeah, I don't know. I think at some point, I know a guy who loved actually like TypeScript and RoScript, and he was so frustrated that what it does, he wrote actually like type parameter above as comment, just to get the code base, to not get lost. So yeah, at some point when you use type, I think you cannot go back.
Nice. Let's put our hands together for this talk.